Well, 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 good afternoon. Oh, the title that I've selected for today's video is When Our Peace is Shattered. If it didn't hurt so much, I'd be laughing at the absurdity of it all. I was in such a great space emotionally yesterday until the evening when I was shocked at what I found when visiting someone close to me. Within a short time, it escalated to involve even more people in my life. Whether I like being drawn into the drama or not, sometimes we don't seem to have much of a choice. What I see happening in many people's lives at this time is that unresolved issues are coming to the foreground, providing opportunities to handle things differently this time around. I'm not sure how many are getting the message, since I'm seeing how difficult it is to change our response patterns. I still haven't figured out the best course of action or inaction, and I seriously doubt there is a one-size-fits-all solution anyway. We each have to do the best we can and trust whatever guidance we have. Whew, indeed. And Mondays are always pretty hectic for me. Probably my most labor-intensive day since I do the community calendar weekend events page every Monday. And I think I've had 7 phone calls today, if I'm not mistaken. 2 people knocked on the door, my front door. One of them just a short time ago when because I was getting ready to do my video, I had to say, no, I don't have time to talk right now. And they understood. But it's been an extremely busy day. And in one sense, that's good because my visit at my friend's house last evening left me feeling very, very heavy as I went to bed. And I got a scale, 2, 3 weeks ago now? I've not had a bathroom scale in a long time in my house, but I saw one on sale for $9.99 at one of those digital ones, and I thought, well, I'm going to get that. And so I've been frequently weighing myself just to watch the fluctuations over the course of a day, depending on what's going on in my life. But I weighed myself before I went to bed. And interestingly, I've made it a habit pretty much to weigh myself in the early morning when I first get up. I weighed 4.5 pounds more this morning than when I went to bed, and that's without eating anything. How could I have gained between 4 and 5 pounds overnight with no intake? With no intake. It didn't make sense. So I'm wondering, do emotional issues have weight? You know, we may say, well, I'm feeling heavy, and I was feeling heavy. I woke up with numerous dreams, some of them violent dreams, and I don't usually get things like that. One of them, I don't remember the details of it. I don't remember the details of any of them, except my puzzlement at the content, because one of them included guns, and I'm not a gun person. Yes, I'm a Second Amendment rights person. I absolutely believe that people have the right to arm themselves to protect themselves from the government, really. That's the issue in the American with the American Second Amendment. It's for the citizens or the people to protect themselves against the encroachment of the government. That's what the Second Amendment is about. And countries where they don't have that, uh, their rights are more threatened and more threatened easily than where we do have the right to bear arms. Anyway, that's really not the point of my message today. That's a sidetrack. But I look at this thing of getting pulled into people's dramas. And I've long been one that has not chosen to take sides. I try my best, in most cases, to maintain a level of neutrality, uh, especially when it involves people that are close to me. Because I have found that if I take sides, it doesn't help the situation. It only aggravates the situation more because then it has one person thinking they can get away with things because, well, I'm on their side, and the other person thinks, well, he's against me. And I try to maintain a level of neutrality when it comes to things like that. Now, that's the neutrality that I think is healthy, quite honestly. I don't think, in general, life terms, I don't think neutrality is healthy. When it doesn't matter to you whether evil exists or not, and you don't even claim that there is any such thing as evil, I think that's a really dangerous thing. But in personal issues where there's a disagreement on how to handle something, and it goes into shouting at each other and things like that, it's best from my point of view and over a lifetime of experience to take a position where you're not taking sides. Now, not taking sides in and of itself in my life has created issues, because I've had people say, well, I'm your fill in the blank. Why aren't you on my side? And they get really, really mad when you're not on their side, when you're trying to be the peacemaker and stay in the middle. And they're angry at you. Then they get angry at you because you're not, they think you're not seeing their side. It's not that you're not seeing their side, it's that you're not taking their side. For me, that's totally different. And I don't know if anything that I'm sharing today makes any sense to you, because I'm certainly not going to go into the details of the situation. I don't want to bring any embarrassment or anything on anyone in my world and in my life. Suffice it to say that I've recognized the dilemma that's in my own life when I'm sort of put in the middle of a situation that I wasn't expecting to be put in the middle of. And all of a sudden, I have friends that want me to do something. And my reaction last night was to withdraw. I actually took my phone off the hook because the problem escalated on the phone even after I had left the scene of the crime, so to speak, and come home. I got a phone call, and the battle was still raging, and they weren't even, it wasn't even that anybody was talking to me. They were just letting me know that, hey, the battle still continues. And I wasn't wanting to be involved. So I just took the phone off the hook all night long. And then I had calls here waiting for me this morning. We were trying to get you last night. Where were you? So my coping mechanism was, I don't want my peace disturbed by being drawn into this any further than I'm already drawn into it. Although today, more people are involved than were involved yesterday. So this is how, from very practical experience, we get drawn into other people's drama. And it becomes our drama because we care about them, because we love the people that are involved. And it's difficult not to do something. It's difficult to withdraw, as I tried to do, because even in withdrawing, I further escalated it for myself, because now I've got people mad at me in addition to being mad at each other. And it's a catch-22. And I know yesterday I talked about rumors of peace and the probability of good news. Well, this is true, because that was where I was focusing, and I continued my best to focus on that which produces real change. I mean, visible change. I'm not talking about just mere promises. I'm talking about people that are working on actually creating something that works better than what we've been accustomed to. And so I try my best to focus there. I try my best to maintain a positive mental attitude. Now, I know I've gone against a lot of people saying that they're the PMA people, because they tend to lie to themselves and avoid the negative and act as if the negative doesn't exist. You notice I'm not doing that. I'm saying, hey, yeah, there are dramas. I mean, dramas, some of them are pretty serious dramas that erupt in our lives. And we have to deal with them one way or another. We can't just brush it under the rug and pretend like it doesn't exist. And we need to do that as a human family, in our individual lives and in our collective lives. We can't be brushing the problems under a rug, but by the same token, we do have to do our best to find a peaceful resolution, even when the peacefulness is being shattered by the situation at hand. And and these are real issues that we have to face individually and together. We have to face that there are things right now in our world that are erupting, and there's going to be more eruptions, even though peace is visible to those of us that are visionaries and are looking at the steps that are being taken and the things that are happening in our collective consciousness and in our global awareness and cosmic awareness. We can see that there are things that are happening that's changing the situation, but it's still a process. It's still a process of growth, of learning, of looking at things from different perspectives, and maybe making some mistakes in judgment even, because we don't know. And I wish I had perfect guidance. I don't. When I get all caught up, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling alienated in any way, shape, or form, my guidance system seems to go a little bit off balance. It seems to not work as well. When things are going well, well, it's easy to get guidance because you're feeling connected, you're feeling loved, you're feeling like things are going your way. But then when it's challenged, when the dramas erupt around you or directly in your life, then it's harder to get good guidance. That's my experience. And that's why I said, trust whatever guidance we have. And sometimes it's simply reverting back to what has been the common way of dealing with something in the past. But then as the thing goes past us and we get to look at it a little bit closer with less emotional involvement and attachment, then we can say, well, maybe there's a better way to handle it. We can maybe learn some new tricks, not just simply let it go, but reevaluate. And that's what I've been doing in a little bit of breaks that I've had. I've had less meditation time today than other days because of the busyness of the day. But in any case, I've continued this whole thing that I've been in a lot lately of reevaluating my life. I'm letting go, for example, of one meeting. I'm only having meetings every other week instead of every week on Wednesday nights now. I've let go of one of my meetings. That was a big step for me, and I'm going to be letting go perhaps of some other things. I've already let go of a whole bunch of the meetings that I used to go to outside of my home here. But I'm in a period, and I think a lot of people are in a period of reevaluating our lives. And I think this is good. And it's important, probably, even though I don't like it, it's important that our peace gets shattered every now and again to make us take another look, to make us take a deeper look, to make us peel back some of the layers that we may not have looked at before, so that we can see at a deeper perspective and have the opportunity at least to heal ourselves more deeply. Anyway, this is the subject and the topic that I wanted to share with you today. And I trust that you will be easy on yourself and be easy on others that get caught up in the drama of life and their peace gets shattered. We can't always stay in that perfect meditative state where everything is bliss. Yes, follow our bliss, but by the same token, we've got to be real with ourselves and with each other. And the authenticity and the truthfulness, I think, will ultimately help us become whole and help us become whole enough and healed enough to be able to create a better world, a more peaceful world for ourselves individually and for ourselves collectively. That's all I'm going to share today. So thank you for listening, and namaste.